Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I posted a short clip on my TikTok from the movie Murder Set Pieces and it went viral with over 2 million views and I'm really grateful for that. So today I'll be reviewing the movie for you all and the movie's called Murder Set Pieces. So this movie comes with a massive trigger warning. The film contains extreme violence, large quantities of blood, prolonged sequences of sexual assault, torture, and violence against children. I won't be spoiling any scenes, but just so you know that this film is very disturbing, so you have been warned and to proceed with caution with this review. So Murder Set Pieces follows an unnamed wealthy German fashion photographer living in Las Vegas. By day, he works as a professional photographer specializing in erotic imagery and moving through the city's underbelly with a camera and an air of detached glamour. So by night, he becomes something far more darker, a methodical, sadistic serial killer who targets sex workers and anyone else who happens to cross his path. The film makes little attempt to humanize him or offer psychological explanation. He simply exists as a predator who moves between these two worlds with chilling ease. I would also say there's also some childhood trauma towards his character as well. This movie is mean-spirited and generally disturbing, while it is not overly gory in the sense of non-stop practical effects. There's excess blood in the movie as well, and it is extremely violent and bloody. There is a lot of blood in the movie and the violence is prolonged, clinical and often sexual in nature. Sequences involving sexual assault are frequent and explicit, and the film does not shy away from including violence against children as well. These elements are presented without irony, without comedy, and without any sense of catharsis. So the overall effect is cold and extremely mean. The movie is extremely mean. That said, it would be dishonest of me to claim the film fails at what it sets out to do. The central performance is controlled and unsettling. The actor playing the photographer, the main actor, maintains a blank, almost aristocratic menace that makes the character's dual life feel believable rather than cartoonish. And also, the supporting performances are generally solid as well, never tipping into the kind of exaggerated reaction acting that can undercut this type of movie. The film succeeds in creating a constant atmosphere of dread and moral emptiness. It is not trying to be clever or self-aware, and that lack of distance is part of what makes it effective and also hard to sit through and witness. Visually, the film is often striking. It is shot with a polished, almost commercial beauty that clashes sharply with the ugliness of the acts being committed on screen. The Las Vegas locations are used effectively, giving the nocturnal sequences a stark, isolated quality, even when the city itself is busy. The score built around a low howling wind motive is sparse but effective. It doesn't try to force emotion or telegraph scares. Instead, it adds a desolate, almost industrial chill to certain scenes that lingers after the violence and extreme sexual acts have entered. So for me, the film's biggest narrative problems lie in its secondary storyline involving a young girl and her mother. These characters feel a bit underdeveloped. The movie never spends enough time with them to also give their presence the weight it seems to want. So I would say that these scenes that could have provided contrast, tension, or emotional grounding are either too brief or too thinly stretched, which leaves that thread feeling incomplete. The ending suffers from a similar issue. It feels abrupt and somewhat lazy, as if the film is setting up ideas it never fully pays off. There are clearer suggestions that a sequel was intended, and the conclusion appears shaped more by that expectation than by a desire for a self contained resolution. Of course, no sequel ever arrived, which only makes the final feel more unfinished in retrospect. So, Murder Set Pieces is a well crafted piece of extreme cinema that largely achieves its goals. It is mean, cold, and deliberately unpleasant, but it is also acted with conviction. I'll say, conviction, photographed with care, and scored with restraint. The flaws in the structure and payoff keep it from being fully satisfying, yet the overall experience is cohesive enough to leave an impression long after the film is finished. So for me, this is a good film of its particular type, but it is empathetically not for everyone. So watch this movie with caution, please. So my score for this movie is 3.5 out of 5. Also, the director of this movie never followed up with a movie after this movie. So I wonder whatever happened to him, if he's still active in the film business or probably just retired somewhere. So yeah, that's my review for this movie. If you like this sort of content, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more upcoming horror movie reviews in the future. Peace.